So this is going to be kind of a summary or highlight video on OG versus EG in game 2. And this is more so just going to help people who haven't had a chance to keep up with the international, or else even the fact that there's like multiple matches going on at the same time. And you also have like time zones where matches are just on when you're asleep. So hopefully this kind of allows a good opportunity for you to pick up on this game and see what ends up happening. So straight away here we have Observer Ward that's going here and here for Dire. So they're very heavily prioritizing rotations that are coming to mid. This is probably because Earthshaker is roaming and he has boots of speed as well, which is quite a common thing. Also something that Jerex does quite a lot too. And in bottom lane it looks like we have Dark Willow and Abaddon. And we have Arteezy on Juggernaut. Thompson is going to be playing magic damage against Ember, which has this fire flame guard. The flame shield as I was going to call it. But in top, if this ends up being the lane, Magnus is pretty hard for these two heroes to kill. But he's super tanky, especially if he ends up buying a bracer or something, which is something that players have been doing as well. And we end up seeing that the Dire end up getting 3 runes. And what's kind of interesting on mid lane, that you end up seeing Sumail do this a lot. It's like his playstyle almost of playing mid, where he buys a healing salve. So he'll just let the enemy harass him early on. Wow, he just like sleight of fist dodged that nether blast. But then he heals up with a salve. Oh wow, Jerax is here trying to like genuinely just stun him to prevent that from happening. So Earthshaker comes and throws a stun. Then we have Juggernaut. He's spinning here. And he's actually body blocked here. So he can't get out. And the creeps are in the way too now. And Earthshaker ends up dying too as a result of that. No, sorry. That was Grimstroke that died. So Ember's got a haste rune now on mid. So this opens up an opportunity to get another kill here on mid. So now the nether blast comes in. He walks around it. So now he's diving the tower and he can't attack. So, oh wow, look at that. That's really impressive. Like another sleight of fist dodge and he was only 1 unit he bounces onto too. So another first blood here. But the carry ends up being traded for this. So Juggernaut Arteezy. And he has a rate ban now. So he's also microing this healing ward. So it makes, like, they don't even see this healing ward. And now he's body blocked in again. They end up getting a double kill here. So I guess that was a pretty good trade. It's kind of good for Arteezy as well here on Jugger, because it allows him to reset his mana. And in terms of gold, he only gave away 200 gold. So right now, that was a very preferable trade for them overall. But in the long run, it kind of slows down Jugger a little bit by doing this. Now, Seb is on top, just pushing the lane. And he's actually maxed in power to just clear and cut creep waves like this. Because he pretty much wants the enemy to spend as much time to come top, even as a quelling blade to kill the creeps faster. And this, see exactly what's happening here. Ember's coming top here. And this opens up the opportunity for others to farm somewhere else. Now, hopefully what he wants to do is just RP, skewer, and TP away or something like that. Oh, my camera. Oh, yeah, he didn't want to RP there. Sumail was actually trying to dodge it there with the sleight of fist again. That just shows you how good of a player this guy is. So Bane is here. And he placed in this sneaky ward really deep in. This is pretty good for catching Magnus, who likes to sit and farm in the jungle. And often, like you saw, he was jungling up at this area. But he'll like to just jungle on these camps here as well. So Jugger is coming top now. But he's only level... Oh, he's hit level 6 now from the creeps. So I wonder what the reason. Maybe that this lane just gets too hard at this point. Oh, Sven is rotated down here. So they've kind of swapped lanes on the carry roles. Now Sven is rotating mid. This is really unpredictable play for a carry to come mid, especially when he's deciding to go Midas and he has the courier coming. Sven's courier is teleporting. So Earthshaker's done. Jerax just randomly in this position. Now Arteezy's diving, they throw out a stun here, and this is just a kill for a support. So very questionable whether that rotation was worth 167 gold. But I guess what they're trying to do is pressure down and take both the mid lane and safe lane tower. That looks like their strategy that they're doing. The Earthshaker's just coming along here, seeing if they have stacks here, because if you place an observer ward up here, it'll actually just get dewarded up on the cliff at this point. So having a hero that just walks up there that's not going to die instantly is probably a good choice there as well. Now Sven does have to run away, and Abaddon is just kind of sacrificing himself here, I guess. No, he's actually running away. S4. We have this fear. Oh, an amazing RP. And he dodged the fear. Wow, what a player. And we have Bane in this perfect position up here, just like to do his ult. So Ember jumping, catching the supports here. And Jugger spins as he's getting stunned here. And Pugna is still alive. Pugna is in really good position too. And this is really favoring OG now. And he also gets the Omni Slash because Abaddon's ult went off earlier. Abaddon's ult was at the very start of the fight. No, Jugger just gets the TP out. So that was overall, it seems like, a benefit of the fight of OG quite significantly. Especially for, well, it ends up being apparently a roughly fair trade. But I think that that was a really good, like, could have gone really, really bad for OG. Also showing himself here too. And he's trying to bait them over to here, it seems like. But I don't think he's aware that there's 5 heroes at this point, like positioned roughly together. Maybe he is. His team now, OG, are after smoking. They go into Roche. What is this? No way. This is such a risky play. But they, can they even see these? There's no ward here. How did they know that they're bottom? Is this just a risky play that they're just randomly doing? If they pull this off, this could literally help them win the games by a lot. But here we end up having Abaddon is now scouting. They must be curious about where exactly they are. Now Abaddon goes in and gets focused first. So this is really good awareness of EG to know what's going on. And oh, even Sumail tried to snatch it there. We have Dark Willow's almost dead here. Earthshaker's trying to do a walking Echo Slam. Not gonna work. And Bane is ulting him. And Sven's gonna have a really hard time to get anything done here because of like Pugna. But we have counterplays back going here as well with Ember. Now Ember is jumping, but he also gets slowed by the Diffusal Blade, which also makes his jump go slower. But also Juggernaut's attacks are burning his mana too. We see Abaddon has no mana left to stick now he uses. And Sven manages to get away here. And only Earthshaker went down there. So this is a really big win. And you end up seeing the momentum that came off of the previous team fight really helps them in the next team fight too. But admittedly, they kind of had a favorable position going into this. And EG's initiation was not perfect. They kind of were like, maybe they're in Roche. Whereas Juggernaut, he's finished up on Manta. He has the Aegis. He's not scared about farming aggressively. Look at this. Look how far up he is. Look where the rest of his team are. Jerax is just standing back here. And the rest of them are here. Look, watch this. How far up he is with the Aegis. This is really smart because OG with Jerax and Ana are just coordinating together. Jerax can stand back really far and throw a really good fissure, save the Jugger, and the Jugger can just spin. The only way they can do something is if they use Fiend's Grip. He spins here and still this ward is still going. Throws out Fear. Now Seb did get hit by the Fear this time. And now we have a leash going on here. And Sven is leashed to Abaddon, but they get rid of the leash. The leash is over now. So Seb is still here. He has RP ready. This could end up being a really bad if they get an RP off. A good one there. So this is literally like a walk-in. Oh, Sven turning it around with Echo Saber. And this is the Aegis down. And they don't have RP now either. So this running into the enemy. And we have Thompson is getting caught here too. So this ends up being maybe their aggressiveness is getting punished here. Juggernaut spins, TP's out, and Grimstroke gets caught. So that's a really bad trade overall. Oh, ultra kill for Arteezy. Wow. So that's going to really build his momentum back. This gives him a BKB. And BKB in this match in particular is really big because what Pugna loves to do to Sven is decrepify him. to last hit. But you end up seeing the positioning of Krish is quite similar to what Jerex ends up doing. Jerex ends up following his teammates, which are farming aggressively, stands behind them. And we end up seeing Dark Willow does the same thing, where standing behind Arteezy to potentially save him. EG are just controlling this part of the map and controlling the high ground, and even farming this camp in particular. And they know that OG are top because of this observer ward. They can see this. So they saw like 2 or 3 heroes walk through this ward. So now Sven is taking the camps that are closest to the tower, which is a small win. It's like a little battle effectively, but this camp here is often the most prioritized or easiest to farm for the Radiant side, especially when they're being forced back out of losing map control. So Bane ends up getting focused here first, and he's like evaporated here with the Manta, and we end up having the Omni Slash that comes out onto this. But is Juggernaut going like a magic damage build? No, he's going like Scatty. So a lot of the time people go Mjolnir, but Sven has a huge amount of armor at this point as well. And we still have Terrorize left. Do we? No, Terrorize was used. Bedlam as well. So Thompson gets picked off here, and RP was used too. I don't think there was a good RP there at all. So we have a buyback now from Thompson, and we still have Echo Slam ready. So what exactly is Jerex doing? Is he just holding back on this Echo Slam? So he blinks forward further, potentially get a Fissure. So he doesn't use his Fissure unless he needs to. Sven's God Strength isn't ready for another 50 seconds. We don't have Bane alive either, and Bane also managed to use his ulti just before he died there. So at this point now, Sumail has BKB on his Ember, and the RP has 60-second cooldown. We have Spin just attacking this, and this ends up being quite beneficial, especially when you have a Pug now. You can tick down the towers constantly with this Nether Blast. You see that they nearly got this tower in itself. Again, just exploiting these cooldowns. And we also have Echo Slam. So EG need to be really scared of this combo, even with just oh, Jugger spins into the whole enemy walking up high ground here, and Ember gets to go in, and he's BKB now with the orb from the shield from Abaddon. And he's jumping on and picking off the support that's going to silence him. So once his BKB runs out, Grimstroke is going to try and silence him. And also picking off the crowd control here that's going to happen with small cooldown spells. Now in this case, they're just really disengaging now. And Jugger is still in the fight, not getting focused at all. And we have the... oh, Nightmare comes out. And the Echo Slam onto 3 heroes, which also ends up ending the Nightmare from Bane that he was trying to save his ally. And Bane was back further, and now S4 has no more mana left. He's trying to deny himself to the creep here. He can't do anything about it. So this Diffusal ends up being quite good against chasing down heroes that are potentially quite tanky and they just want to run away, especially with the fact that he has phase boots on this hero. And he was probably planning on going drums at one point because of this bracer, but he never ended up getting it. So this ends up turning into pretty much a free Roshan here, is it, for OG. So they get 2 Roshans. Now Juggernaut's after taking this tower, the 2 tier 2, the tier 1, tier 2 in the off lane. And EG is doing the same thing. And they get the fortify. Now there's a second fortify going on here. And they're after trading this for potentially allowing OG to go high ground here. And where's Magnus' position? This is what's important here. That he's far back enough that he doesn't get his blink cancelled. And you also have Earthshaker back even further, tops in here. And this positioning is pretty interesting overall. And in particular now, EG have to be a little bit more freeform. You end up seeing how they're more spaced apart, especially with the fact that potentially RP could end up hitting them. Now, Seb is constantly going to end up getting stuff like Searing Chains. You see Ember's focusing there and gets the Fusel Blade even. But if Ember stays too long and lets Juggernaut attack him a few times, he'll burn his mana and then he won't be able to jump away. Even if he presses BKB, he needs these stick charges in particular. This is a very valuable but cheap item. So now Sven is after using God's Strength here. He's jumping in, and he also has Bloodthorn. So who's he going to focus first? He's not blinking in further, so he's just going for Jugger first. And Jugger had to use his Manta here, and now his Aegis is down. So is Sven going to stand back, or is he just waiting? Is he going to BKB now? So he has a lot of buffs on him here. Earthshaker's also positioned back with a Shadow Blade and this cheese. So OG are really putting on a lot of pressure here to EG, especially with the fact that now Jugger has a vastly higher net worth, and they now give him the cheese also. So really working with these items really well, and Arteezy trying to not waste his BKB if he can. He's really trying to hold on for it as long as he can. This might be a little bit too much, and this gives the opportunity now. When you see Sven with low health, they're going to go in and push like this. And you see Seb has moved up even further. He's probably just going to go for a blink skewer here now. That's probably even better than an RP. Whoa, he nearly caught 3 of them. He skewers them back into Juggernaut Omni Slash. And Omni Slash is just doing so much damage at this point. Sven has BKB and a huge amount of armor, and Abaddon's even trying to tank some of it. And Sven's just dead. Like, how do you come back now? And he has no buyback. And Abaddon's no mana. So what's Ember doing? Ember is in the middle of the fight here getting decrepified. And there's nothing they can do. So this ends up being... Oh, Ember bought back now. So it's really just Samael versus the world, it looks like now. And even Ember or Earth Spirit... This guy, Jerax, he also plays Earth Spirit, but... And GG is called, right? So those momentum plays and Roshan's ended up being quite critical to OG's plays overall. Who should get the MVP? I think Seb should get it. He played probably one of the best here. Oh, Seb got 5%. We gotta give it to the hero that just farms the most and has the most items, of course. I think there were some really impressive plays there by Seb there. You also have the kind of concept as well where Sven needs someone to initiate for him, and the only really way that EG were initiating that fight was S4 just runs in and everyone just kind of runs in after S4's ulti goes off, and that was kind of the play. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe.